Hello, 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 hello. একটু কমেন্ট করবে সবাই, ভয়েস শুনতে পাচ্ছ কিনা? হ্যালো, হ্যালো, হ্যালো। তোমরা একটু সবাই ওয়েট করো, ম্যাডাম আসছেন, 5 মিনিটের মধ্যে ক্লাস শুরু হবে।
Okay, done. Switched on আছে তো? Okay. আচ্ছা এইটার এইটা তো আমি ইউজ করে লিখবো আচ্ছা এটাই এটা দিয়ে লিখবো ওকে ওকে ডান আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আমি এতটা টেক সাভি নই আমার প্রবলেম হলে একটুখানি হেল্প করে দেবেন আচ্ছা আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ করেছি করেছি হচ্ছে না Okay, so this is Shampuja Ganguly. Those who are very much close to Boithoki, you all know me, although I am rejoining rather, a bit later because of certain personal issues, right? So today we shall be doing research methodology, right? But before that, I would like to draw your attention to certain facts, right? So before that, I would shortly be addressing the syllabus of UGC NET, right? So just you all are aware with the syllabus, just I am recapitulating once. Okay, so Just a second. Just a second. Okay, so just look at the syllabus. You all have the syllabus, just I am just discussing it for once. Unit 1 is concerned with drama, right? Okay, Unit 1 is concerned with drama, right? And Unit 2 is concerned with poetry. Unit 3 is concerned with fiction and short story. Unit 4 is concerned with non-fictional prose. Unit 5, language, basic concept, theories, pedagogy, English in use, that is the ELT section. Unit 6, English in India, history, evolution and futures. Unit 7, cultural studies. Unit 8, literary criticism. Unit 9, literary theory post Second World War, and Unit 10, research methods and materials in English. So these are the topics that we need to cover up in order to crack NET, and we will surely do that, I can assure you. Right, this is a very good institution, and here the teachers are very much efficient. So if you follow the classes regularly, if you attend the classes regularly, I think you will surely be cracking NET within a very short time, right? So today we shall be dealing with Unit 10, that is research methodology, right? That is research methodology. We shall be doing with Unit 10, that is research methodology. Where's the pen? Okay, it is research methodology, right? So I shall be doing research methodology today. I need certain few classes. I am not sure about how many classes to take on this particular topic, but initially we shall be doing this first class centering on certain points, right? So how I have chalked out today's class is like that. We shall, in the very first half of our discussion, I shall be talking about the different definitions of research, right? Different definitions of research that are being given by several scholars, several theorists, right? First one. Secondly, in the second part of our discussion, I shall be talking about the characteristics of research. Okay, what are the most important characteristics of doing a research, of executing a research program, right? What are the main features that you need to follow in order to conduct a proper research, right? This is the second point that we shall be discussing in today's class. In the third section, I shall be talking about the literary fields. Okay, কোন ফিল্ডে কি রিসার্চ হয় বা কি রিসার্চ করতে পারি আমরা সেগুলো নিয়ে আলোচনা করব। In the fourth section, I shall be talking about the types of research, right? I shall be talking about the types of research. How many types of research are there, right? We shall be discussing about that, and we shall also be trying to do the definitions of several types of researches rather. Okay, so these are the topics that we shall cover up in today's class. So we shall end up with the definitions of research, and if time permits, then I shall be briefly talking about the steps of research, and I shall be discussing the steps of research in a broader way in my next class, right? So this is my plan. Okay, so let us start with the definitions. Huh? Change korbo. Okay, sure. Okay, white. Okay, so let us talk about why it is getting so. Okay, this one. Okay. Research. So, if we consider, is it visible? No. Okay, if we consider this term research, then we will, if we break this term, then we will be able to see that there is this prefix, that is re, and there is this verb, that is search, right? So it is a prefix, right? It is a prefix and it is a verb, right? So before directly going into the definitions given by the scholars, I am just analyzing the word in a very smaller way. Okay, so research, re is the prefix and search is the verb, right? So you can easily understand, whenever you are doing research, whenever you are approaching towards doing research, you are not inventing something. Yes, it is a research. It is the invention of a new perspective in a already existing particular phenomena. Yes, searching again and again. So from the word re, you can easily understand it is the repetition, or again and again. It is the repetition. Right, it is the repetition. Okay, so whenever you are doing a particular research, you need to focus on the already existing subject matter. Right, you need to focus on the already existing subject matter. You need to research, as if you are recycling your knowledge base. Right, so this is research. Okay, and now let us talk about the definitions given by certain people. They are the scholars. Okay, so I'm just reading it out from my notebook, that definitions of research, I shall be reading out 1, 2, 3, 4 definitions by 4 different scholars. Just keep in mind, listen to it very minutely. According to George J. Mowley, okay, what is the name? Yes, absolutely. It is George J. Mowley, right? So according to George J. Mowley, what is the definition of research? I'm just reading it out. Just listen to it. The systematic and scholarly application, the systematic and scholarly, these are the important terms that we are getting from this definition. The systematic and scholarly application of the scientific method. So you need to be scientific in order to conduct a research program, right? So you need to be systematic, you need to be scholarly, you need to be scientific in order to conduct a particular research program. What is there then? Scientific method interpreted in its broader sense to the solution of problems of social sciences. So you need to be systematic, you need to be scholarly, you need to be scientific. What is the aim of research? To find a solution to a given social problem, right? So from this we can easily understand what is the first step of research. Ami pore bolbo abar. What is the aim of the research? To resolve. No, the aim of the research is not to be systematic. The research scholar, or the person who is conducting the research, the person who is executing the research, that person needs to be systematic. That person needs to be scholarly. That person needs to follow a particular scientific method. But what's the aim of research? Yes, very good. Very good, very good. To find a solution to a given social problem. Right? একটা সমস্যা যেটা তৈরি হয়েছে সেটা সমাধান খুঁজে বার করা হচ্ছে রিসার্চের কাজ। Right? সমাধান. So it aims at the solution. To solve. What is the aim of the research? It's getting no, okay. What's the aim of the research? To find out the solution or to solve a problem. Right? It is the aim of the research. Then what is the first step? What's the first step? I have mentioned it in this discussion. No. You need to be systematic in order to conduct the research. But no. It has not been mentioned here. But I have already talked about this. No. In order to find a solution, what you need to do first? No. Yes. Absolutely. Very good. Mohsin is doing very good. The first step of the research is to find out a problem. Problem না থাকলে সমস্যার সমাধান করব কি করে? তাই না কি? সমস্যা না থাকলে সমাধান হবে কি করে? যেটা কোনোদিন হয় না, আমাদের জীবনে প্রচুর সমস্যা। এরকম রিসার্চ আমরা প্রচুর করতে পারি আমাদের জীবনের সমস্যা নিয়ে, রাইট? So the first step of the research is to find out or to construct the research problem. Okay? To construct, is it clear? Am I making sense? Yeah, okay. To construct the research. What? Hey, তোর নাম কি রে? Naz. To construct the research what? Yes, problem. To conduct the research problem. যারা আমার পুরনো স্টুডেন্ট তারা জানে আমি এসব ডাম কোয়েশ্চেন করি, ঠিক আছে? যেটা মানুষ ভাববে এত ডাম আপনি জিজ্ঞেস করছেন, ইটস লাইক দ্যাট। বলতে পারবি না এক্স্যাক্টলি, মন দিয়ে না শুনলে বলতে পারবি না। ভেরি গুড। সো টু কনস্ট্রাক্ট দ্য রিসার্চ প্রবলেম, দ্যাটস দ্য ফার্স্ট স্টেপ অফ দ্য রিসার্চ। When I shall be discussing the different steps of research, I shall get back to this. But as I am discussing the definition of research, that is why just cursorily mentioned it. Okay, so the first step is to construct the research problem. So according to George J. Mowley, the research scholar needs to be systematic, or the person who is executing the research, he or she needs to be systematic, scholarly, scientific, and what's the aim of the research is to find out a solution to a given problem. So being a scholar or being an executor of the research, you need to find out the problem first, right? Is it clear? Mowley's definition is clear? Okay, একটু কি লিখে দেব ডেফিনিশনটা, although not important, not necessarily important, but if you want I can give it to you. লিখে নিয়েছি, ওকে ডান, ছেড়ে দে। Okay, Francis J. Cornell, the next person about this is Francis J. Cornell, যার ডেফিনিশন আমরা পড়ব। Francis J. Cornell, right? Francis J. Cornell, according to Francis, sorry, it's not J. It's Francis. Yes. It's Francis G. Cornell. Okay, it is Francis G. Cornell. So what is Francis G. Cornell's definition? It is best research is what? Reliable. Just write down the key terms. Reliable, verifiable. Okay, reliable, verifiable, and exhaustive. আমার হ্যান্ডরাইটিং বুঝতে অসুবিধা হলে, স্পেলিং বুঝতে অসুবিধা হলে জিজ্ঞেস করে নেবে। So it should be the best type of research should be reliable. You need to trust on that, right? So that research should be that meticulous, right? It should be verifiable. You can verify, right? And it should be exhaustive, right? You need to be very rigorous, okay, in order to conduct a research. so that it provides information in a certain way to a certain question. So it is already there. It provides information to a certain way to a certain question. So it is informative about a certain question. So what is the question? It is the research problem. Question is the research problem, or to jeta bollam je find out the problem. Okay, the question is the research problem, and again the aim is to give answer to a certain question, that is to solution, that is to give a solution to a certain problem. Is it clear? Is it clear? Clear? Next, C.C. Crawford. C.C. Crawford. Next, C.C. Crawford. C.C. Crawford. Okay. What is the definition that he is giving? Research is simply, again, like Molly, systematic. It is systematic. It is refined technique. Right? It is refined technique. It is systematic. It is refined technique. Right, of thinking. So you need to make yourself more and more refined. There should be no impurity in your thinking in order to conduct a research. Okay, okay. কেন না সেই ইম্পিউরিটিটা থাকলে সেটা পুরো রিসার্চ প্রসেসটাকে মে ডিস্ট্রয়. Okay, so you need to be systematic, you need to be refined in the way you are thinking, right? Employing specialized tools. So very important, very important. We have come across a new term here. What is that? Specialized tool. এতক্ষণ যাদের দুজনের লেখা পড়লাম তারা কিন্তু কেউ স্পেশালাইজড টুলের কথা বলেননি. So he is the person who is talking about a specialized tool. It is also there in that steps, research steps, right? So what is the tool? The tool of collecting data. The tool of collecting data, right? Yes, methods of collecting data, the tool of, the instrument of collecting data, right? So I shall again be discussing this in my that section. I'm not going deep into this, right? Just mentioning it. Okay, so you need to have specialized tool in order to conduct the research. Sorry. Right? Right. So, and instruments in order to obtain a more adequate solution to a problem. So we have come across all the three scholars with their definitions of research, and all of them are claiming that the aim or the purpose of research is to find out a problem. It is to resolve, not resolve, it is to solve the problem. Okay, it is to find out a solution to a problem, right? So all three of them are mentioning this. So the aim remains same. So it is universal. What is the aim of the research? The aim of the research is to find out a solution to a given identified problem. Is it clear? Naz, am I making sense? You are new to my class, right? Am I making sense? Okay, okay. মহসিন ভাবছে আমি বঞ্চিত গোবিন্দ দাসের মতো আপনি আমায় কিছু বলছেন না. যাই হোক, বাকিরাও ঠিক আছে, অসুবিধা নেই. ওকে, চলো. Next, P.M. Cook. Who is the person? It is P.M. Cook, the last person, the last one, about whom we shall be discussing the definition. It is P.M. Cook. This is not R, right? That. This is P.M. Cook. Okay. So what is the definition according to PM Cook? Research is an honest, exhaustive, intelligent searching. So we have come across certain terms. It is an honest, exhaustive, intelligent, okay, it is an honest, exhaustive, intelligent searching for the facts and their meanings or implications with reference to a given problem. So it is, again, you are not doing something new, rather you are trying to find out a solution to a given already existing problem. So you are trying to find out a solution which is the problem which is already existing. So you can easily understand why there is the term research. You are searching again, okay, in order to solve the problem, right? So these are the definitions by greatest scholars. According to them, what is research? Okay, so we are done with our first section of discussion. Is there any problem? অনলাইন যারা করছেন তারা যদি কোনো সমস্যা থাকে জানাবেন আমাকে একটুখানি, ওকে? What? No, nothing. Okay, absolutely. So this is the first part. Is there any problem? Please let me know. No, it is okay. It is okay. Okay, let us talk about the second point. What is that? What's that? I have already mentioned it. What's the second point of our discussion? Very good. We shall now be discussing about the characteristics of research. About the characteristics of research. About the characteristics of research. Okay, about the characteristics of research. Right. So we have already come across certain characteristics while doing the definitions. Okay, now let us be more particular regarding this. Okay, so first characteristics, please write this down. This is important. You have written the names of the scholars, the main features that are given by them of research, right? So okay, it is done. You don't need to just take the dictation and everything. You don't need to do that. Just you need to write down this characteristics, right? So first characteristics of research. What I would like to ask you, what are the characteristics of research? Is it a character? Is it a feature? Mohsin, that is the quality of research. That is not characteristic, or that is not a character, or that is not a feature, right? All of you are not wrong, but you need to be much more specific in order to define research. First one, it is controlled. It is controlled. আমার just rubbish. T-F মনে হচ্ছে না? You can manage it. Okay, okay. Okay, তাই না? Okay, very good. So the English NET is like that, right? You need to enjoy the subject. Okay, ভালোবাসতে হবে বিষয়টাকে, না হলে কিন্তু হবে না। Okay, যতটা সম্ভব মজা করে পড়া যায় আমরা ততটা পড়ব। এই সুযোগে বলে রাখি একটা বিশেষ ঘোষণা, আমাদের বৈঠকি ইনস্টিটিউশনে 79th ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্স ডে একটা ডিসকাউন্ট দেওয়া হচ্ছে। যারা এই ডিসকাউন্টটি অ্যাফোর্ড করতে চান তারা অবশ্যই খুব তাড়াতাড়ি, যত তাড়াতাড়ি সম্ভব এই ইনস্টিটিউশনের সাথে যোগাযোগ করুন। অ্যান্ড উই ট্রাই টু প্রোভাইড বেস্ট কোয়ালিটি অফ লার্নিং, রাইট? থ্যাংক ইউ। ওকে, so it is controlled. Okay, first point that is there, it is controlled. Why it is controlled? Yes, yes, you need to be very, research stimulates a kind of a control. Yes, and you need to be very systematic. I have already mentioned the word systematic. So when you are being systematic, you already are practicing a kind of control, isn't it? Isn't it? Being systematic already talks about or refers to certain kind of control. So research stimulates certain kind of control. It is to be done within a controlled situation. ও আজ একটু ফুচকা খাচ্ছি, যাই একটু রিসার্চ করে আসি, কালকে একটু সিনেমা দেখে আসি, যাই একটু রিসার্চ করে। ইয়েস, একদম ইউ নিড টু বি সিস্টেম্যাটিক। ইউ নিড টু, আজকে আচ্ছা প্রথমে আমি ডেটা কালেকশন করে নেবো, তারপর আমি প্রবলেমটা বের করব, তারপর আমি যখন একটা যা হোক ইচ্ছে করে নেবো। ইউ শুড নট বি লাইক দ্যাট। It is controlled. You are restricted to follow certain steps in order to conduct a research, right? You are strictly restricted to follow certain steps in order to conduct a research. So research stimulates a kind of a control, isn't it? It stimulates a kind of a control. So the first feature is it is controlled. Okay, right? লিখেছিস? Okay. আপনারা লিখেছেন, কোনো অসুবিধা হলে আমাকে জানাবেন। Okay, next one. Next point is it is rigor. It is not working. Oh no. It is rigorous. So you need to practice certain kind of rigor in order to conduct a research. So you need to be rigorous in order to, you need to exhaust your mind, exhaust yourself in order to conduct a research. Absolutely, absolutely, it should be like that, right? So you need to be rigorous. Okay, there should be some kind of rigor in order to conduct the best of researches. Okay, okay. Next, I have already mentioned it, you need to be systematic. Okay, okay, you need to follow the logical sequencing of the steps. Okay, you need to follow the logical sequencing of the steps in order to conduct the research. In order to conduct the research. Next, it should be, I have already mentioned it, it should be, the research should be valid and verifiable. So this is another characteristic of research, that you need to be, your research outcome needs to be valid and verifiable. If I am conducting a research, right, I should leave that scope for the rest of my community so that they can verify my outcome, right? Any of them can verify my outcome, right? So it should be valid, it should be verifiable. Okay, and the last, not last, second last characteristic is it should be empirical. What do you mean by empirical? Oh, এটা আমি লিখলাম না, না কি বললাম রে last point? Yes, it should be valid. Systematic টাও লিখিনি না? Okay, তাহলে 1 2 করে দিই আমি। No, it's not 3. Yes, yes, it is 4. It is 4. It should be valid and verifiable. 3 is systematic, right? It is systematic. Okay, so what's the last, or not last, second last point that I have mentioned? It is empirical. It is empirical. So what do you mean by empiricism or empirical data? Absolutely, absolutely, very good. Just mentioning it once. একটা গরম জলের বাটি, আমি জানি না কোথায় কি হয়, আমি সদ্যজাত সন্তানের কথা বলছি। একটা গরম জলের বাটি, সে গরম জলের বাটিতে আঙুল ডোবালো, তার আঙুলটা পুড়ে গেল। And from this experience he or she gathers the idea or knowledge that if I put my fingers into the bowl of a hot water, then it, yes, there will be burning sensations. So from the next time he will not put, yes, 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 absolutely, he will not do the same thing. So the data which we can verify through our senses, the experience that we gathered through our senses, empiricism, okay, loke pai amra, right? Empiricism, empirical data, John Locke, okay? So it is empiricism. So yes, absolutely, that you can verify, that is valid, that you can verify by yourself, empirical. So from the point valid and verifiable, you can easily understand you should also be concentrating on the findings of empirical data, or your research should be guided by the empirical data, right? Right? So last point, okay, basically it talks about the facts and the facticity, facts based on facts, informations, okay. Next one, it is also a process that requires critical scrutiny. So the last point is research should be critical. Research should be critical, right? So in order to conduct a research, you need to be critical. Yes. Yes. You need to give your own critical insights into the already existing theories. You need to draw different new perspectives in order to enlighten the rest of the community. Okay, then you will be a true contributor to the existing knowledge base. What is the aim again? It is the aim of the research is to find a solution to a given problem. That is okay, but it also enhances the already existing knowledge base. Your contribution, আচ্ছা বলা হয় research scholar, কেন বলা হয়? Because your contribution will be marked as a material which can expand the already existing knowledge base, right? So you need to be critical. You need to conduct the research critically, okay? Otherwise you won't go forward with it, okay? So these are the characteristics. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is there any problem? Is it clear? Okay, okay, let us go to our next point, that is the types of research. Not types of research, literary field is also there. So কিছু literary field এর কথা বলবো আমি, okay? So literary field, right? First one is the oral history. First one is the oral history. First one is the oral history. Second one, just write it down. এগুলো কি খায় না মাথায় দেয় আমি পরে ডিসকাস করব, ওকে? কিছু সম্পর্কে তোরা জানিস অলরেডি. নেক্সট ওয়ান ইজ discourse analysis. Next one is discourse analysis. Third one is textual analysis. Third one is textual analysis. Fourth one is archival method. Fourth one is archival method. Fifth one is very popular nowadays, digital humanities. That Next one is several types of textual analysis like MLA, Chicago, ALA, right? And the last one is the usage of the WorldCat, that is World Catalog. Okay, the usage of the WorldCat or World Catalog. একটু জল আনবি রে বাবা, আমি এসে জল আনতে ভুলে গেছি। Usage of WorldCat or World Catalog. Okay, so this is the point. ওই তো, done. Thank you. So usage of the WorldCat or World Catalog. So these are the several, please write this down, several literary fields. Okay. Okay. So the next one is, now we shall be going into the last point, that is the most, that is the longest section of our discussion, that is the types of research. Okay. That is the types of research. So let us go into that. Okay. Now let us concentrate on types of research. On the types of research, right? So according to the classical perspective, classical model, so there are three perspectives or criteria that are used in making this division of researches. Okay, so first one, আচ্ছা এইটুকু তো আমার হয়ে যাবে, আর লাগবে না, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ আর লাগবে না। So there are certain subdivisions are there, right? So three perspectives are there according to the classical model, in order to, or criteria is there according to the scholars. You need to do the you need to follow those three perspectives in order to conduct a research. So what are those three? এখান থেকে আমি একটু ভাগ করি, হ্যাঁ, that will be better. So okay, so there is application, there are divisions on the basis of application of research. Okay, so application, okay, division on the basis of objectives, and division on the basis of mode of inquiry. Okay, so these are the divisions that we will try to cover up, right? So according to the application, according to the basis of application, there are two types of research. What are the two types? Can you tell me what are the two types? Pure research and applied research. Pure research and applied research. Okay, on the basis of application. Okay, on the basis of application. Okay, on the basis of objective. I should not be doing this thing. On the basis of objective, first there is descriptive research. First there is descriptive research, Next, there is exploratory research. Then there is explanatory research. Then there is correlational research. Clear? These 4 types are there. Right? These 4 types are there. So first, application based research, there is 2 divisions, pure research and applied research. According to on the basis of objective, there are 4 types of research: descriptive research, exploratory research, explanatory, and correlational, right? And according to the mode of inquiry, there are 3 types of research. First one is, yes, there is quantitative research, there is qualitative research, and there is mixed research. Clear? There is quantitative research, there is qualitative research, and there is mixed research. Right? So these are the divisions. Divisions are clear? Divisions are clear? Okay? So these are, I'm just repeating it once, types of research. It can be divided into 3 categories based on application, based on application, based on objective, based on mode of inquiry, right? Application, there are 2 types, pure research, applied research. Objective, there are four types: descriptive research, exploratory research, explanatory research, and correlational research. According to the mode of inquiry, there are 3 types: qualitative, quantitative, and mixed research, right? So let us go by the definitions one by one. Okay, let us go by the definitions one by one. Yes, according to the classical perspective. Okay, so just rubbing it off. Okay. Okay. So what's the first one? It is pure research. It is pure research. It is pure research, right? So what is pure research? What is pure research? So what do you mean? Pure means the basic type. There is nothing intervention or nothing impurity or something which is not homogeneous, right? Yes, yes. So pure research entirely talks about expanding the knowledge base. What is the aim of the pure research? You are not allowed to give your own critical perspective or critical perspective দেওয়া যায় না সেটা বললে ভুল হবে. There is no scope of finding out something new. Okay, there is no scope. Yes, 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 already existing phenomena, of an already existing phenomena. You need to analyze the already existing phenomena in your own way. There is no scope of doing something or inventing something new. Okay, yes. So what is the purpose of pure research or basic research? The main purpose of pure research or basic research is to expand the already existing knowledge base. Is to expand the already existing knowledge base, right? There is nothing new, there is nothing critical, right, that can contribute to the already existing knowledge base. Rather, it just expands the already existing knowledge base. Clear? Clear? So that is the purpose of basic research, to expand the already existing knowledge base, pure research. Okay, so give me an example. If I consider John Milton, right, in our literary field, if I consider John Milton is an existing, not existing, but we practice him, isn't it? We practice his works and everything. So if we try to find out the style in which he was writing, the different types of style that he has already used, right, that will, Yes, grand style of John Milton, that will be a pure research. Why? Because you are not inventing something new. You are not looking at Milton from certain perspective. Rather, you are already analyzing an already existing situation. The style is already there. The style is there in his writing, isn't it? The style is already there in his writing. You are just again analyzing it. And it helps to expand the knowledge base for the Milton scholars. Okay, it helps to expand the knowledge base of the for the Milton scholars, right? So whenever you are analyzing the style of a particular author, okay, or the images that he has already used in his poetry or writing, right? So then you are doing, please keep the phone, Naz, don't you? Okay, okay, sure. Okay, so that is a kind of a pure research. Okay, that is a kind of a pure research. So what's the aim of the pure research? It is to expand the already existing knowledge base. Please write it down. Please write it down in your own words. Okay. Right. So whenever you are again rereading Milton in order to find out his style, then you are doing a pure research. Right. In order to comment on his style, then you are doing a pure research. So it helps to expand the knowledge base. Okay. This is the first one, that is the pure research. Okay. Next one is yes, মুছি এটা? Okay. Next one is applied research. So please go by the term and give me the example, not example, definition of applied research. No idea. Okay. Applied research means you are applying something. You are applying your own critical insights in order to solve a problem. Right? So in this kind of research, as I have already mentioned, that there is no scope of giving your own insights into that already existing phenomena, right? In pure research, you can only expand the knowledge base. You can only analyze, right? But in the case of applied research, you can incorporate with your critical thinking, with your insights, you can solve a problem in an innovative way. The way you are solving the problem, that is called the applied research. You are applying your own critical insights, you are applying your own intelligence. I have already mentioned while I was discussing the definitions of research that being intelligent is something that matters, isn't it? So in this type of applied research, you need to apply your own critical thought, your own critical understanding in order to solve a given problem. Right? In order to solve a given problem. That is called to be the applied research. That is called to be the applied research. And just giving an example, if we consider a particular classroom, then how we can improve the quality of that classroom? By introducing new techniques. Those new techniques yes, you are right. So those new techniques are the applications of new critical insights that can help to improve the quality of a classroom. So right, so improving your classroom by incorporating different innovative techniques. Either it is techniques that you are using while teaching, or it is the innovation of several other aspects, right? So it is this kind of innovation, right? So this is the applied research. Applied research can be distinguished, can be divided into three sections. First one is evolutionary research. First one is evolutionary research. Then there is research and development. Research and development. And the third one is action research. Action research, right? So there are this three types of research is there. First one is evolutionary research. What is an evolutionary research? Yes, you need to evaluate something, right? That is called to be the evolutionary research. I'm just giving an example. So if a company is the company can adopt a evolutionary research method in order to cut down the overhead costs. Okay, so they can see কোথায় কোথায় খরচা বাড়ছে, কোথায় কোথায় কাট ডাউন করা যায়. This is the evolutionary research method. You are going through an evolution and you are arriving at a particular solution, right? You are going through an evolution and you are arriving at a particular solution. This is evolutionary research. Second one is research and development. So just look at this. এইগুলো মূলত মার্কেটিং বা বিজনেস সেক্টরে বেশি ইউজ হয়. তোরা যদি দেখিস, if the company is launching a new phone, yes, they try to analyze the market first, and according to the need of the common people, they innovate, or they try to invent the new strategies, the new techniques, the new gadgets. Yes, right. So according to the need of the customer or the market, the research and development, they develop their strategies, they develop their skills, they develop their gadgets. Clear? Research and development. And then what is action research? What is action research? Can you give me an example? আমরা এই অ্যাকশন কথাটা মানে কি? সঙ্গে সঙ্গে, immediate action. Okay, so you are finding out a problem and you are immediately giving a solution, taking up certain steps, you are following certain steps, conducting a research and giving a problem solution to the problem, right? That is called the action research. Okay, you are immediately applying your own action in order to solve the problem. So just reading out the definition, that it is a type of applied research. This is also an applied research that is set on providing practical solution to a specific problem, right? That helps in providing practical solution to a specific problem, right? So action research gives a practical solution, immediate solution to a specific problem. এটাও মূলত বিজনেস অর্গানাইজেশনের ক্ষেত্রে মূলত ফলো করা হয়, right? So these three types of researches are there in this category called applied research. So descriptive research and applied research clear? Is there any problem? No. Okay. Next, just a second. Just a second. Next, there is this, no, not descriptive research. It was pure research, basic research and applied research. Sorry. Yes, it's absolutely. So next one is the objective based division. That is, first one is descriptive research. First one is descriptive research. So basically descriptive research, it is descriptional about a community, a situation, a select group of people, a phenomena, a problem, a specific outcome. Okay, this is descriptive about all these things. First one about, I'm just rubbing it off. It is descriptional about a community, a select group of people, a particular phenomena, and a situation, a program, a specific outcome. A situation, a program, and a specific outcome. So it describes that, all these. So this type of research, that is the descriptive research, describes all these. It describes, it is descriptional about a community, it is descriptional about a select group of people, it is descriptional about a phenomena, it is descriptional about a solution, a program, a situation, a program, and a specific outcome. Right? It describes this phenomena. Okay. Descriptive research is about description of these things. Right. Next, exploratory research. Next, exploratory research. Just a second. Okay, exploratory research. And this exploratory research specifically stems from the descriptive type. Okay, from the term itself you can get the idea that it explores something. It explores the several scopes of research in a given field. Okay, in various fields rather, not in a given field. Okay, it explores, it probes the multiple areas where the possibilities of research can be explored. Okay, where it actually stems from the descriptive research, exploratory research stems from the descriptive research, and it tries to explore the multiple areas in order to find out the scopes of research. Okay, exploratory research. Okay, exploratory research. So it explores. If I give you an example, if I am analyzing exploring the impact of pandemic on our economy. If I am exploring the impact of pandemic on the economy, this is a kind of an exploratory research. Okay, this is a kind of an exploratory research. Okay, this is the first one. Second one is explanatory research. Okay, so I have given the example. Exploratory research is exploring the impact of pandemic on economy. Right. Next, explanatory research. Explanatory research is Basically it is a corollary of correlational research. I have not mentioned the correlational research. I'm just mentioning the correlational research first, and then I shall be coming to the explanatory research. Why? Because without understanding descriptive research, you won't be able to understand what is there in exploratory research, and without understanding correlational research, you won't be understanding what is there in explanatory research. So let us talk about correlational research first. So what do you mean by correlation? Yes, what do you mean by that? Please explain. Yes, yes, very good. Not cross-referencing. You are not cross-referencing. This is not right. Basically, correlation, there are variables. Okay, whenever you are conducting a particular research program, there are variables. Okay, there are variables. So there are two variables. Two variables. So correlational research actually tries to find out the relationship, whether there is a relationship or not, or positive or negative. It tries to find out the correlation between the two variables. Okay, the correlational research tries to find out the correlation between the two variables. Clear? Clear? So it is the correlational research, just mentioning it once. Okay, so it tries to establish the correlation in between the two variables. Okay, Ina? Yes, yes. I'm just coming into the divisions and then you will understand it better. Right. So there are three types of correlations. Okay, there are three types of correlations. Number one is positive correlation. Second one is negative correlation. And the third one is no correlation. Right. Let us go by the examples. Okay. So the first one is the positive correlation. What is the kind of positive correlation? So if I consider money and wealth are synonymous. If I consider money and the capability of buying cars or houses or land, right? So if for a person, if his income or her income increases, then he or she becomes more capable of buying more cars. Yes, yes, you need to provide the money in order to buy a car, isn't it? So if the money increases, then there is more possibilities of buying the car, buying the house, isn't it? So an increment in the wealth, yes, leads to the increment of the number of cars a person owns, isn't it? Or a number of house a person owns. So these two variables are, if there is an increase in a single variable, the other variable will normally automatically be increased, right? So this is called the positive correlation. Okay, this is called the positive correlation. Then what is negative correlation? If there is an increment in a particular variable, then the other variable will automatically be decreased. If I consider there is an increased rate of education, then there should be, in a society, there should be decreased rate of crime, isn't it? Isn't it? there is an increased rate of education and there is the decreased rate of crime. So if there is an increment in a single variable, the other variable will decrease, isn't it? So this is called negative correlation. This is called negative correlation. Clear? And what is no correlation? What is? They are not at all linked to each other. If I consider wealth and happiness, no. If there is an increase in wealth, will there be an increase in the happiness? No. No, absolutely not. Isn't it? And if there is a decrease in wealth, it is not necessary that the happiness will already be decreased. This is not also necessary. So it is the kind of no correlational correlation. It is called to be the no correlation. Okay. Okay. This is called the no correlation. So three types of correlational research: positive correlation, negative correlation, no correlation. Is it clear? Done? Okay. Next, let us talk about the explanatory research. Without understanding correlational research, you won't be able to understand explanatory. So what is explanatory research? If we go by the term, then we will get the idea that it explains something, isn't it? It explains something. It explains the associations, the relationship, and the phenomena between these two variables that already is being mentioned in the correlational research, right? It explores, sorry, not explores, it explains the association, the relation, and the interdependence between these two variables. Okay. It explores, not explores, it explains the association, the আর কি বললাম রে, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ বসুন এমা স্যার এসে গেছেন, জাস্ট wrapping it off, আর বেশিক্ষণ নেব না আমি। It explores the it explains the association, it explains the relation and the interdependence. It explains the relation and it also explains the interdependence between this two variables that I have already mentioned in the correlational research. Clear? Clear? So we are done with this. Yes, application based research and objective based research. Now let us talk about the last section, and with this I shall be wrapping up today's class, that is research based on the mode of inquiry. Okay, research based on the mode of inquiry. Okay, কি বলেছি? Quantitative research, isn't it? Quantitative research. First one, certain characteristics. First one, this is structured. This is deterministic. So you cannot go beyond the structure in order to conduct a quantitative research. This research is very much strictly structured. You cannot go beyond the structure. If I consider survey research, right? So whenever you are doing a survey research, you need to follow certain structure. এই ডেটাগুলো কালেক্ট করতে হবে, এইখানে এক্সপ্লোর করতে হবে, এই জায়গাগুলোয় যেতে হবে, right? So it is structured, it is deterministic. Okay, it is structured, it is deterministic, and basically it is also predetermined. predetermined, right? And it is also predetermined. It is also predetermined. It is structured, it is deterministic, it is also predetermined. আগে থেকে ঠিক করে রাখা থাকে কি কি ফলো করতে হবে, কোন কোন স্টেপস এর মধ্যে দিয়ে যেতে হবে, রাইট? So it is also predetermined. And unlike qualitative research, it arrives, it leads towards a generalized conclusion, right? We can get a generalized conclusion. It is not specific. It gives a general solution. Okay, quantitative research. Okay, it gives a general influence, and it is also a scientific method. Okay, done. So if I give you an example, just a second. Yes, if I give you an example, prevalence of domestic violence in today's society, whether it is prevalent or not, yes or no. I have selected this. It is a kind of a survey research. I need to communicate with people, gather information, and then input my own critical insights, isn't it? So prevalence of domestic violence, is it a yes in today's society? Is it a yes? Is it a no? This type of research is qualitative research. It is structured. You need to follow certain structures in order to conduct that particular research. It is structured. আমি ঠিক করে নিয়েছি prevalence of domestic society, prevalence of violence in domestic society, আমি কোন কোন জায়গাগুলো রিসার্চ করব, আমি একটু গ্রামাঞ্চলের দিকে যাব নাকি আমি শহরেই থাকব। ইট ইজ স্ট্রাকচার্ড। আমি কিভাবে এগোবো, কাদেরকে জিজ্ঞেস করব, বিবাহিতদের জিজ্ঞেস করব নাকি অবিবাহিতদের। ওকে, ইট ইজ স্ট্রাকচার্ড, ইট ইজ প্রিডিটারমিনিস্টিক, অলরেডি আগে থেকে ঠিক করা আছে। আমি মাথার মধ্যে I have already chalked out the entire plan, executed how I will execute the research, right? And it arrives at general solution. You are not being specific for whether it is prevalent in a particular person's life and how it is impacting that particular person or not. That is not important to you, right? Rather, you are generalizing for the society, whether it is prevalent or not for the society. You are not being specific, isn't it? So this type of research is called qualitative research. Quantitative research. This type of research is called quantitative research. Next is qualitative research. Qualitative research, you can easily understand, ekdom opposite hobe. Qualitative research is unstructured, flexible, and addresses a specific or arrives at a specific solution. Okay, specific solution. So I'm just giving the example that will make it more clear. If I consider, in spite of tolerating all the domestic violence, why women stay in a relationship? This is a kind of a qualitative research. Why? Because while doing this particular research, you need to do the psychological study of a particular person, isn't it? Why a woman, she is staying in that kind of a relationship, isn't it? Whether it is the financial dependence or something emotional dependence, you need to do the psychological study. You need, at the same time, you need to delve deep into the psyche of a person. You cannot structure that. When you are communicating with that person, particular আমি সিলেক্ট করে নিয়ে গেছি কোয়েশ্চেনায়ার, সেগুলো দেখেই বললাম সেগুলোই হলে হবে না, কিন্তু it is flexible and it arrives at a specific solution. Why they are staying? What is the dependence? What is the point of dependence? Isn't it? So this type of research is called to be the qualitative research, right? Qualitative research. Now last one is the, what is the last one? Mixed. So you can easily understand it is a mix of both qualitative and quantitative research. Mixed research is a mix of both qualitative and quantitative research, right? So, and according to the scholars, this mixed type of research is the best type of research among these three. Okay, this mixed research is the best type of research among these three. And mixed research is just about an assimilation of both qualitative and quantitative research, right? Just giving an example that will help you to understand. Oh, sorry, I have just mistakenly given the example of why the example of domestic violence. It is the mixed research. Qualitative is, I have already mentioned that if you are archiving Tagore's work, okay, if you are archiving Tagore's work, that is quantitative. You need to be very structured. এই কাজগুলো আমি আর্কাইভ করব, এইগুলো করব না, এইগুলো এই ভিত্তিতে করব, এইগুলো এই ভিত্তিতে বাদ দেব, right? This is structured, this is predetermined, and it arrives at a general solution. You are archiving Tagore's entire work. Then what is qualitative? The phenomena of an icon. If I consider the phenomena of an icon, okay, that is very much qualitative. And what is mixed? আমি ভুল করে আগেরটা মিক্সটা তোদেরকে কোয়ালিটেটিভ বলেছিলাম, ওটা that is absolutely not done. So this is what is mixed then. This is the mixed. Why, in spite of tolerating all the domestic violences, women stay in a relationship? You need to do the qualitative at the same time quantitative. You need to select the areas. কোথায় কোথায় স্টাডি করব আমি, রাইট? একটা স্ট্রাকচার করতে হয়, একটা কোয়েশ্চেনার করতে হয়, সবকিছু করতে হয়। That is the quantitative part. And at the same time, you need to delve deep into the psyche of that person in order to answer to certain questions that is there, that is already there in your questionnaire or not. থাকতেও পারে, নাও থাকতে পারে, right? So it is not fixed. So it is a mix of both qualitative and quantitative research. Okay, so it is a mixed research, and the phenomena of an icon is the qualitative research. Archiving Tagore's work is the quantitative research, and this is also a quantitative research. The prevalence of domestic violence, prevalence of dowry in today's world. Okay, prevalence of dowry. This is also a quantitative research, whether it is prevalent or not. Okay, dowry system. And if I ask you that why women, they get into this kind of relationship called, or a kind of a contract called marriage after facing this bad effects of dowry, then what kind of a research is this? Why they are getting into this kind of contract after encountering the prevalence of dowry system? Then what kind of research is it? It is a mixed research. বলতে পারলি না কেন? একই কথা। It is a mixed research. You are surveying, at the same time you are doing some qualitative analysis. You are surveying, you are jotting down data, at the same time you are doing some qualitative analysis in order to delving deep into the psyche of a person. কেন বিয়েতে যাচ্ছে? আবার ওই যে আমাকে জায়গা ঠিক করতে হবে, কোন কোন জায়গাগুলোয় করব, পণ প্রথা কোন কোন জায়গাগুলোয় বেশি তার আধিপত্য, সেটা কি শহরের দিকে নাকি সেটা গ্রামের দিকে? So it is structured. These are the quantitative phenomena, so quantitative characteristics, right? At the same time, the qualitative analysis is also there. Why they are getting into this kind of contract? It is a contract. When there is this concept of dowry, it is a contract. I don't think that is that marriage is something which is based on emotion when there is the question of dowry, right? So you need to do this basic research. So this is all. I am done for today, right? So let's stop here, and from the next class, onwards, we shall be doing with the 8-step model of conducting a research, right? So thank you. Okay, done.